some parts of my story. When I was a kid, I was like most kids. I was alive and kicking to a very large extent. Already when I was 3 years old, I ran away from home. And the police had to come and get me. I made the headlines in the local newspaper. When people would ask me, what do I want to become? I would answer most often, I want to become a truck driver. Because my father had a truck company. As I grew up, went to school, I had a chance to educate myself a lot more than my parents. So, I got a different perspective on life. And as I became older, I wanted to become a hockey player, ice hockey player. But I wasn't good enough, so I had to start thinking about something else. And then I wanted to go into business, and I found Oriflame. But as I found Oriflame, at about the same time, something else happened in my life. And that was that I got married, and I became a father. And when I became a father, I understood that what I really want to do, my deepest purpose in life, is to be a provider. I want to take care of my family. That's the most important thing for me. So, of course, money became very important. So I would secure myself, and that I would be able to secure my family, the schooling for my children. But in Oriflame, I also found that I was able to do that by finding that I liked what I did in Oriflame. I really loved my job. Then, as I continued, my children became a bit older. And my children as well, first, when I asked them when they were small, what do you want to become? Well, my daughter, as most daughters, she wanted to become a princess. And my sons, they said, we also want to work in Oriflame. Because you tend to think about that you want to be like your parents. But now, when they're older, I again ask them, what do you want to become? And my oldest son, he said, because he's studying at the university, he's studying philosophy. So he said, I want to write books. I want to be a writer. And I don't care if I make any money. Then I asked my daughter, what do you want to become? And she says, I want to work with something where I help people. And then I asked my middle son, what do you want to become? And he says, I want to have a job where I have to work as little as possible. And then I asked him, but why? Why don't you want to work at all? And he says, because I want to relax. And I asked him, but wait a minute here, if you want to relax, why have you booked these trips with your friends? My sons are going on a trip, 2 trips this summer. And I asked him, why are you going on these trips if what you like the most is to do nothing? And then he says, no, but that's different. I get to do nothing with my friends. So why am I telling you this? Why am I talking to you about me or about my kids? Because the truth is that you cannot connect the dots forward. You can only connect the dots backwards. I see now when I ran away from home that I have an adventure. I can see the things that made me change during the course of my life to become a provider. And I see that change happening to my children. But why am I telling you this? Because I read somewhere that Mr. Carnegie said, I love strawberries and cream. But when I go fishing, I have to use worms. What does that mean? It means that I am engaged, motivated by some things. But the people I'm trying to engage may be engaged and excited about other things. I want to make and help my children to become their very best. But they are not interested in the same things as I am. Why am I telling you this? Well, I'm telling you this because I think this is very often one part of your everyday life. Because you're out fishing, you're out recruiting, you're out inviting people. And when you're inviting people, you have to remember that the people you're inviting them for their sake, not for your sake. You're inviting them to be excited about their life, not about your life. And that's why it's so important that we listen to our people. What is it that they want when we recruit, when we develop our leaders? I know that some of you very often faces the challenge of the people want the fast cash. They're here for the quick money, and you wonder why do they quit so often? Well, I think there is something we have to do. We have to raise their vision to be more than about money. They need to feel excited, and they need to find their purpose. And I think that's where motivation comes from. Because back to my first question. What motivates me? Where do I find my energy? Because my energy and my motivation is here with Orphan because I love what I do. I am so excited about what I do. These are easy words to say. How do I translate them into reality, to everyday life? Well, just imagine the following. Take a piece of paper, like this, and then you write down all the things, all the important things you need to do to be successful. And the list may become very long. And then you look at that list, and you ask yourself, what makes me excited? What is fun to do? And then you start sharing that piece of paper with your spouse, and with your networks. Because you will find that your networks, when they do the same list, and when your spouse is you doing the same list, you will find that they maybe have the same important things on their list, but they will be excited and think that different things are fun. And this is what we can do as leaders. I do it every day. I ask my people, what is it that gives them excitement? We ask, what is your piece of paper? Of the list that you're making, what are the things where you feel motivation? And you go after it. Because once you do the things that makes you excited, once you do the things that you think is fun, and still important, you will never ever have to find motivation again. So, excitement and purpose is what drives motivation for you, but also for your leaders. We all know that if we want to become really successful, we have to be fanatic, but we have to be in love with what we do. So do the things you love, and do them often, and success will come your way. Because if nothing else, what you've heard about this day, when you've heard about the leaders, the success stories that you've seen, you can see one thing. And I think it was very well expressed by Ramon looking at his beloved wife Julie. I can't understand how she can make a business when she's only speaking on the phone. But she was doing what she loves. She was communicating with people. Oriflame is not just a job. It's more than a job. Oriflame is a way of life. Oriflame, it's your life. And now, as the last part of this global conference, we are going to invite and celebrate the 2018 Global Leadership Council members. And we are going to invite them under the most fantastic applause that we can give. Because we love it. Because we love what we do. And it's not only we applaud the ones we're inviting, we're applauding ourselves. Because one day, you all can not only become Global Leadership Council members, but you can become the presidents of your life. Are you ready? So let's put our hands together for the Global Leadership Council 2018. And in order to help me, I would like to invite to the stage Robert Objopnik, Alexander Objopnik. Put your hands together. And I'd like to invite Jens Magnus, Thomas Ekman, Johan Rosenberg. Please help me welcome them. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up. Put your hands together. The number one leader of the world, according to the 2018 standings, Vladimir Stefana Padurjaev, gives them a super warm hand. Yuri Guzman and Ramon Corral. From Egypt, number 4, Rabia Afifi. Number 5, Kamli Mpienga. Ladies and gentlemen, warm hands, as if you were on stage, warm hands. And we continue. After Vanita Pervana, we also congratulate Number 7, Dian Endriana and Visa Tiarumaja from Indonesia. Number 8, Konstantin Levski. Number 9, Julia Ariana and Bebovic. Number 10, Sahia Sulame from Morocco. Number 11, Evine Saran. Put your hands together. Number 12, Mr. and Mrs. Hai and Hen from Vietnam. Number 13, Zeynep Solo from Turkey. Number 14, Nimei Sugyarti and Yuman Suryanata from Indonesia. And number 15, Minasyan Agride Minasyan from Armenia. Please give the new top 15, the Global Leadership Council, a very warm hand.